A little something about Raymond. He's an investor in stocks and rentals. He wants no money from you, no bait and switch, nothing. Here's what he's going to do. He's going to log into his personal account, share real estate property documents, and give you suggestions on what to read.
Okay, let's talk about dividends. And today is Wednesday, July 1st, 2020. And I'm going to log into my TD Ameritrade account, and I'm going to go into my Rollover IRA, and we're going to take a look at what's going on there. Let me log in. All right. Okay, we're in. So I want to go to my Rollover IRA. And here's a summary down here, overview. But let's actually go into it. So you go to my account, and again, this is TD Ameritrade. So you go to my account and just hover your mouse over that and go to positions. And we're here. So again, we're right here on this tab, Rollover IRA. My total value is $155,745.57. And today I was up almost $750. So let's take a look at where we were last time. So you guys, I gave you an update of what I had in my rollover IRA on June 22nd, and we were at 155,192. So we made some money. So from the 22nd until July 1st, we made I guess about $600. So that's pretty good. That's like, I don't know, 7 days, 8 days. And I didn't do anything other than buy stock. So I wasn't sweating. I didn't go to work to make, $650, $700. This is just me strictly investing in the stock market, choosing stocks, and I made this money. So of course that was a good day, but you're gonna have ups and downs. So on a bad day, we'll see how that goes. I'll be showing you the good and the bad. But where I wanted to concentrate today are all my stocks that I have dividends. So every stock I own does not produce a dividend. And I just want to scroll slowly. So if you guys are looking at the video and you really want to just keep track of what I'm doing with my stocks, I'm going to scroll slowly. And you guys can always pause the video and say, oh, wow, I was following a particular stock. Did I go up or down video from video? So just scrolling slowly. And again, you guys can pause the video to analyze the value of my stock now versus where it was. And I don't believe I bought or sold any stocks between. So the column that you really want to look at would be, this is the total gain column, and this is the percentage gain. So we're talking, this is if I'm up or down for the year. This is how much money I made or lost for the year to date. And these are the day values. And here's the quantity. So my goal is just really to concentrate on the big number. And if you guys, again, you want to look at what I'm doing, pause the video and just take a look. So let's talk about dividends. And I want to show you guys something called DRIP, which stands for Dividend Reinvestment Plan. And what that plan does is that if you buy stocks and they have dividends, that means every quarter you get money just by owning the stock. And that money, two things can happen. That money can just go into your brokerage account funding, or you can actually take that money and put it back into the stock that the dividend came from and buy more stock. That's what I do. So you have an option. Either dividend makes money and you want that money to go into your account as cash so you can do whatever with it. You have that choice. Or you can say, I'm a true investor and any dividend I get, I want it to go back into the same stock and buy more. So that's what I'm doing, and I signed up by clicking here. So let's click here. And I'm already signed up, so I don't have to, be walked through the process. But if it's new to you, you would start clicking on these links, and you can go ahead and make it happen. So I'm already there, and I'm enrolled in this plan, stock and ETF dividend, and it says enroll edit. I do not own any mutual funds, but if I did own mutual funds, I would click here and set that up. So let's click here. So these are all the stocks that I own in my portfolio. So if you compare all of these to the other page we were on, they're all the same. But all my stocks do not pay dividends. So let's look at the ones that pay dividends. And you would know that by looking under these three columns. So Apple, it pays a dividend. Crown Castle International Corporation, it pays a dividend. Clorox, Disney, they pay dividends. Kroger pays a dividend. So I think you guys are getting the picture. So all the stocks where you see these fields populated, they pay dividends. Beyond Meat, nothing here. That does not pay a dividend. And you can tell that I'm enrolled in the DRIP plan because it's going to take the money from the dividend and it buys more stock. And when it buys more stock, sometimes that dividend value isn't enough to buy a complete share. So that's why you see a percentage or a fraction. So for example, the number of shares of Apple I have is 113.373. So where did the 373 come from? Because typically you can't buy a fraction of a stock. And actually you can, like Robinhood, I've learned you can do it there, but typically you don't do that. So I got some money and maybe it wasn't enough to buy a full share of Apple. I think right now Apple's trading about 365, maybe 370. And say the dividend that I got for that quarter was $48. So with this plan, I buy $48 worth of Apple stock, and that's why you see the fractions. So fraction, this is the fraction amount. So I probably bought 6 shares, and this is the fraction of the dividend payment. And I want to talk about just general numbers because I don't want to get complicated, especially when it comes to percentages. But one thing you want to look for when you're buying stocks and it has a dividend, if it has a high dividend yield, so the higher this number, the more money you make. And the trick with buying stocks that have dividends is just because a stock has a dividend doesn't mean it's a good stock. So I actually got burnt. Is it in this one? I bought a company called Frontier Communications, it had a huge dividend value. And I was kind of a rookie when I did it. So I was like, oh, wow, I'm going to buy the stock because this dividend value or yield was, I don't know, 10%, 12%. I was like, man, I'm going to make a killing just by buying the stock. Well, that company went bankrupt. So when it goes bankrupt, that meant I lost my initial investment plus the dividend. So make sure you're buying quality companies that have been around a long time. They have a good balance sheet, which just means they have a lot of money on their books, like billions of dollars, like Apple. And you're pretty confident that that company is going to stay around and be able to pay the dividend every quarter. So 4 times a year, typically a dividend is paid. So one of the great companies with dividends will be AT&T. If you Google AT&T dividend, you're going to see a lot of investors praise AT&T for their dividend because pretty much every year they increase the value of the dividend. And as you can see, this is a pretty big percentage, 6.88. A lot of the other percentages you see are a lot lower. So let's talk about the money, because from this chart, you really don't see how much I'm making in dividends per stock. But this is a good program to enroll in, and probably half of my stocks are dividend stocks. So let's go to my statement. So this statement is same account, my rollover IRA, and this statement is for the month of May. And again, all my stocks are here in this column. And now we're getting to the good part. If your question was, how much money can I make by buying Apple stock in terms of its dividend? If I keep Apple stock, so this many shares, 113 shares, if I keep it for the entire year and the yield stays at 1%, for the year, I'll make $371.86. How can this number change if Apple decides to increase the dividend? So if this number gets higher and I keep the same number of shares, then I make more money. This number can go lower, same number of shares, I'll make less money. If Apple or any of these companies wanted to cancel their dividend, they can do that at any time. And typically a company would do that if they're running into problems with their balance sheet, meaning that they're not generating a lot of income. So let's just look at a couple of more. So if I keep Apple stock, 371 a year in terms of money from the dividends. AT&T, I have 453 shares. I get almost $1,000 for the year. And we can just, look at some more. So Clorox, I get a dividend. Crown Castle, I get a dividend. Intel, dividend. So this is what I'll get for the year. I don't have too many shares, only 8 shares. But I'll get $10.56 if I keep them for the entire year and this number doesn't change. So let's just go down to the bottom. And again, you guys can pause this video if you want to see the numbers if I'm scrolling too fast. But for the year, if I keep all my stocks and the quantity stays the same or increases and the yields for all the company stay the same or increase, the minimum I will have strictly in dividends will be over $2,000. And again, that's independent of the stock value. So if you happen to buy a stock, so if my AT&T stock, let's go back up. If my AT&T stock price drops, so right now in this statement it was at $30.56. Let's say it dropped to $26, but they keep the dividend at 6.7%, so on and so forth. I'm still going to make this money. Only way I don't make this money for the entire year is if they do something to the dividend and this number changes. And if it goes lower, of course, I won't make as much. But this is it's pretty cool. I mean, you buy a stock, they have dividends. Even if the price goes up or down, as long as they don't cancel that dividend, I'm getting over $2,000 a year just for owning those stocks. So, just to recap, I talked about DRIP, which is Dividend Reinvestment Plan. You can sign up if you were at Fidelity or TD Ameritrade, E-Trade. They all have the same plan. You can sign up, and I recommend for you to sign up for it. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm going to update the website and show you that I made money. So going from, I believe it was the 22nd to July 1st, made over $650. All right. Thanks a lot. Check out stocksandrentals.com and look out for my next video.